Hello there, Oddimus Prime here. Today we're going to have a look at the very beginning of the Transformers Takara Masterpiece line and the Hasbro equivalents by taking a look at the wonderfulness that is MP1 or 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime. Let's go for it. So if you've watched our Tech Specs episode on Masterpiece Optimus Prime, you will know that there were several different versions of MP1, MP01, whatever you want to call it, including the 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime, which is this one here, which is the Hasbro version. This is a Takara version that I got second hand. It's actually very badly yellowed and discoloured around the head, the feet, and you can see most strikingly along the legs there that it's almost entirely yellow. So always make sure you don't have your toys in the sun. So I'm not really going to concentrate on this version too much. In fact, I'm going to pop him out of the way over here, and we'll instead spend some time with my original 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime. Now this here is a good 20 years old now. I think I got it probably about a year after it came out, so it's probably about 2005, so 20 years ago. And yeah, it still holds up in so many ways, and we mentioned in the video before that it's just such a fun toy. It's really big, it's really chunky, it's got a huge amount of heft to it. There's a ton of die cast in this toy, and the front, most of the body, the entirety of the legs, and other bits here and there. It's a really weighty piece, and one of the great things about it is it's a fun transformation. It's got loads of extra little gimmicks here and there, and it's just really cool. So the intention is that I'm going to transform this and then show you all the fun features in robot mode. Now, I transformed this earlier today, and it was the first time I've transformed it in quite a while, so do bear with me. This will probably go really wrong. So we're going to start by flipping these pieces on both sides, covering over the wheels there, and then we're going to be taking the legs and popping this piece up here and here to free up the feet. Now the feet actually rotate like so, and then this piece at the back becomes the heel, which you just pop on out, and then this secures the foot as a single piece. So just doing it on the other one. Oops. On the other way, because I've got it in the way. Haha. Doo-doo. And there's that, like that. So now we have feet. The legs themselves, nice and easy. If you push the two fuel containers here, that unlocks a little mechanism, and you can pull the legs out. Then you just separate them and push this little hook piece back into the legs there. And now we're going to spend some time on the top half. Now this isn't necessarily the correct way of going about it, but I normally pop the front plate off here, because that attaches in just here. Open up his chest windows and just straighten that piece out, just to get it out of the way. Then these two pieces here you flip down like so, and the front grille here we just move out of the way. So then we have something that looks a bit like that. Now the arms we just want to pull out of here and then round like that, and the same on the other side. So now we have something that's looking slightly less trucky and slightly more robot-y. So we're just going to flip this round here, twisting at the waist. So now we have this. Just going to pop these two pieces up there for a second. Oops, no we're not. I'm going to flip this round, making sure you keep that piece in. Ah! Flippy flippy. Okay, well we'll just do it there for now. Oh, that's it. Yeah, so flip it round to there, and then just on the inside here, like that, and the same on the other side, like that. Now, we need to, flipping around to the other side, pull this piece down, and just push on here, and that should free up his head to ping round like that. Now the head should not ping off, but that's fine. The head should just pop back on like so. It shouldn't have come off in the first place. And then just pop the ears back around like that, and then you can close that bit up. Now, flipping back around to the front, we want this piece to go up here, this piece to flip round where his matrix chamber is. That should, oops, all the way around, should slot in like so, and then that just pushes up there. This piece you need to rotate, so that becomes the front of the matrix chamber, and then the two side pieces should clip into place like so. And close the chest back up, and then we can flip this down, flip his chest grill back up, close these two pieces. They should sort of clip together like so, and then the arms, just bring those down, push the shoulders in, just pop in there, and then the hands. This is one of my favourite pieces. Okay, nice and close for this. So here, there's a little piece that comes out here, and if you just sort of flip it round and just push it, the hands slot out, just like Optimus Prime's did in the cartoon, which is awesome. I kind of thought that this is how the original would be when I hadn't seen the toy and I was a tiny child. I figured it would be something like that pushed the hands out rather than being separate pieces, but no. And that is that. Simple, easy, satisfying, and fun. It's such a delightful transformation. It's really quite simple, and it looks really good in both modes. So I'm just going to pop him back over here. Get his feet down so he actually stands up properly, and then I'm going to show you some of his fun features. Let's just reset the camera up while we do this. Do 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 do. Okay, we'll just ignore everything off to the side there. So here he is in all of his robot mode glory, looking very spiffing. He's got really good shape. There's no masses of additional kibble. The back hasn't got a ridiculous backpack like you have in some other versions, and he's so chunky and so weighty. A real brick of a toy. He looks amazing, and he's a toy to be played with. Unlike so many others of the ones that came after this, that are sort of more collector's pieces that are there to be looked at. This was designed to A, look amazing on your shelf, and B, something that you can actually get your hands on and have like playtime with. This is, as I say, my original one. It is worn. It has been transformed a number of times. It's got a slightly loose left shoulder, but it's always had that. I tried taking it apart to try and figure out what it is, but one of the screws is unfortunately not playing ball, so I've never been able to get it open to actually figure out why it's loose. But anyway, and as you can see, this one's got the battle damage, so it's got the sort of scorch marks on his hands and there, and around his legs. He isn't a clean version like some of the others that came out, and obviously has the short stacks because long stacks kill apparently. And you can see lots of paint chipped off here and there. One of the most fun things I like about this toy are the amount of pistons that it has around. So it's got 3 working pistons on his arm there that look amazing. If you look on his hand here, he even has 2 little sort of piston points there. And then on the legs, there's all manner of pistons and whatnot going on in there. And again, on the back, you've got it around his ankles. That extends and contracts as you play with it. It just, it's such a good looking, fun looking toy. Which I keep saying. On his wrists, he has little communicators. On one side here he has Bumblebee, as you can see, and there's all sorts of control doodads in there. And then the other arm on this version, he has, for some reason, Starscream, who is apparently communicating with him for reasons. Same gubbins on the inside. Okay, so that's most of the features, but there's a couple of other little fun ones. So, as I mentioned before, he opens up his chest. You can open up the matrix compartment, and you can see in there the matrix of leadership. And there's a little button here, which should, yay, light up the matrix. It's just a simple LED and a simple push switch. You can't leave it turned on. It's just a press it and it's on, off, on, off. It's a very big pain to get back in and do the battery. There's a screw that only gets revealed when you turn it to a certain angle halfway through transformation. It's quite awkward to do, but I did it earlier just so I could show the light up feature. I'll probably pop the batteries back out again after this. The matrix does come out again. It's very fiddly, probably the most annoying bit of this entire figure. I'm not entirely sure I'm even going to be able to get it out. Let's cut there. Get something in there. Haha! Okay, so I got the matrix out. I used a screwdriver. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. But the matrix itself, this is one of the nicest matrices that has been produced, because unlike most of the other versions, it actually separates. So you can open it up to light your darkest hour. Pretty much the same on both sides. It is completely plastic with a clear plastic center, which you can shine the LED through. Push that back together. He can hold it, but it'll only be in his like 2 fingers in the same way most other versions hold it. But yeah, I'm not going to do that pose because it's awkward and cliche. So let's pop that back in there. Much easier to get in than out. Push that close, push that close. One of the last features that I want to show you is his head. Now my one had a bit of an accident, and he's got a nice stress mark there where he was dropped on his bonds at one point. But one of my favourite little features in this figure is that you can press a little button on the back of his head and his faceplate moves up and down just like in the cartoon sometimes when it wanted to. So you can roleplay Optimus Prime talking if you so wish. I'm not going to do it now, but if you take apart his head, he has actually got a mouth in there, and it's terrifying. Okay, so that's most of his normal features. What I'm just going to do here is I'm going to pop this hand away with that very satisfying little tool there, and I'm going to get his Energon axe, and that just clips in to the space around his fist like that. Perfect. And then we grab his blaster. Very simple. It's got a nice little green clear plastic piece in there, which you can't really see. Don't believe it lights up at all. I can't remember there being a battery for it, but I could be wrong. But you need to open his hand out slightly and then pop it on in there and then close the fingers. There is no peg holding this in. It's just on the grip of his hand, but can hold it well. Posability wise, it's not the best. He's got a fair bit of articulation, as we've sort of shown earlier. You've got a fair bit sort of movement out there, but you can't do anything too exciting because A, the gun keeps falling out of his hand if you don't get the fingers right. There we go, that's not too bad. Oh, wibbly. And his legs, you've got a bit of movement that you can do there. So it's not terrible. It's a bit hampered by my dodgy shoulder joint. You can still get some decent poses out of it. And the head sort of stays where it should do. I think the worst bit really is the gun and the direction you can move is hampered by the fact it doesn't hold on to it very well. But there you go. That's not a bad pose, I suppose. And there you have it. This is Masterpiece Mp1, or Transformers 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime, as this particular version is. Now, as you probably are aware, this is a chunksome beast. It is quite huge. Let's bring in a few little things for comparison. So this is the Aldi Alpha Action Series Transformer Optimus Prime action figure. It's about 6 inches high, comes up to his knee. And here is Missing Link Bumblebee, which is about the size of his foot. And let's bring in MP10, who we'll talk about another time, who from this angle actually looks quite big, but when you get him a bit closer, it's not quite the case. And here is MP44, again, not too bad. Studio Series 86, and he is obviously considerably smaller. And finally, we shall bring in an original Optimus Prime G1 style, just to see. So the biggest problem with him was he was ginormous. An excellent fun toy, but it wasn't really a sustainable size to do an entire range out of. The only other figure really that's in scale with him, well, possibly Soundwave as well, but was Megatron, the big MP5? I think it's MP5 Megatron, which was enormous. And that's why the Masterpiece line sort of decreased in scale and has sort of been getting a little bit smaller ever since. Absolutely cracking figure. If you can get hold of one, they're just so much fun. I have been able to get hold of them reasonably cheaply, but not in great condition. because they're a figure that was available in Toys R Us over here, they're a little bit more prolific than some of the other versions of the Masterpiece line. If you can get hold of one, if you haven't got hold of one already, definitely worth having a look for. You can probably get them for somewhere between £50 and £100 roughly, for a not particularly great one, but for a decent one you're going to be looking considerably more. But yeah, that has been a little retro look at Mp1/20th Anniversary Optimus Prime. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.